Once you have your event set up, it's always nice to receive notifications of when that event is going to happen. So for example, you might want a notification saying 10 minutes before an event, I want to be notified. Or a day before an event, please notify me, or a week, or whatever you decide. So let's talk about notifications, how those are set up, and do some work prior to setting up an event and adding a notification. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come to this gear cog, similar to all of your other Google tools, and we're going to go to settings. So we're going to click on settings and notice that we have several options up here in terms of tabs. If we go through this, we can kind of see when some settings that we can change within the format here. So we can change the time format, default event duration, so we can change those. So if you're looking when the week starts, if you like your week to start on a Monday, we can change that. Working hours and lots of other things. So if you go in and you make any changes here, you can take and make sure you save there in order to have that show up on your calendars. And we're going to come over here to mobile setup because this is really the first part here that we need to do in order to get started. Now we're doing this so that we can receive notifications not only on our browser but also on our mobile phone. So you notice that it says Google Calendar can notify you via SMS. Most days now, text messages don't cost any more for your cellular phone, so this is a nice way to receive messages. The first thing we have to do is we have to enter our phone number, 406, and I'm going to send myself a verification code. It's going to ask me if I want to do that. I'm going to say yes, and I should shortly receive a text message with a verification code. So I'm going to enter the verification code in and finish the setup there. So now what I've just done is I've set this up so that I can receive either email messages or SMS messages once I create an event. So you notice now it's taken me to another space here in my settings menu where it's edit notifications. And here's the default. Right now my default is to pop up 10 minutes prior to each event. If I want to change that because I've associated this with my phone now, I can say SMS because I have that with me all the time. Instead of 10 minutes, I want a 30-minute window there, and that's my default notification. So every one of my new events is going to default to this. Now notice here that I can also set this up to where I can change the differences here for each of these particular options. So if I create a new event, I want SMS and I also want email. If I'm changing an event, I just want an email, cancel events email, and so on, event responses. Now I might want something like this for if I have an important event coming up, might want to know if folks are canceling or responding to this event. Notice I can also receive a daily agenda. So if I check this every day at 5 a.m. in my current time zone, I'm going to get an event agenda that has all of the things that are happening for the day. I'm going to click on save, and once I save that, it's going to allow me to go back to my calendars. And now when I add an event, so let's just add an event here today, and I'm going to say tests and click this event, create that. I'm going to change the calendar. This time I'm going to put it into, I'm going to just leave it on this calendar here. I'm going to create that event, and there's my test event. Now that we have our event set up, we can go in and we can change the notification. So if I click on edit event, and if I scroll down, you notice I have an add notification here, and that's going to give me either the opportunity to do a pop-up, SMS, or email, and I can only do weeks or days in advance. Now here's why, because this is an all-day event. Now if I were to change this from an all-day event to an event that occurred at some point during the day, let's say at 5:30, now what you'll notice is that I can add a notification. In this case, I'm going to add an SMS notification. It's going to take place 30 minutes prior to, or it's going to notify me 30 minutes prior to the event happening. Again, we have to make sure we save this event here, and at 5 o'clock I should receive a message that says, hey, here's a reminder, don't forget about this meeting today. So that's notifications is a real powerful way of helping you to remember the important events happening in your daily schedule.